So Ned Fulmer is continuing to embarrass himself after his humiliating and melodramatic return to the internet with a bunch of failed series ventures, another scandal related to his cheating, and so much more that we are going to talk about in this video. Before we do that though, be sure to subscribe to the channel for, you know what, I'm actually so sick of these subscriber begging segments to start the video off. Just subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, it feeds my ego, there's no wrong that comes from any of it, so just do it, please. I've got a cat on my lap, if that helps at all. Here you go, here's Canelo. Alright, swiftly moving on, let's get into this, eh? You won't leave me alone now. I should just do this the whole video. But anyway, let's take a look at his YouTube channel, shall we? This is basically what he's been doing since his return to the internet. I'm not sure if the podcast is still continuing. He said that it was going to be like an ongoing thing. So we'll give that a wee check after we have a look at this YouTube channel. As we can see, it started with what I've been doing, which I guess is a trailer for the channel. It seems to have done pretty well, to be fair to him. And I survived Jet G Forces, which also did really well for him. Yeah, this channel's doing well. This channel's doing quite well, actually. Which, like, I'm not gonna say he doesn't deserve to have a job or anything. Like, if he wants to come back and make YouTube videos, if the content is good and people enjoy it, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, once again, it's not my cup of tea by any means, but if people want to watch his content, I don't think there's anything necessarily immoral about that. Like, he's a weirdo cringe freak who cheated on his wife and basically ruined the whole company and made so many people's lives unbearably difficult for a very long time. It's not as though that is like a life-debilitating offense that you should be arrested for or anything. Are we actually gonna watch these videos? I don't think so. These are the types of videos where you look at the title and thumbnail and you basically watch the video already. It's like watching the trailer for an Illumination movie. You've basically seen the whole movie. Blind dating 5 guys. I don't think he should be doing dating content personally. Anyway, I want to have a look at his podcast because the bio for the YouTube channel says podcast host. Rock bottom with Ned Fulmer. Here we go. Let's see. Oh shit, he actually uploads semi-regularly. They don't do very well, but like he's uploading, I guess. I remember in the last video he talked about how he wants to get people who have been rock bottom and had to like work their way back up and used himself as an example. But it's not as though you were rock bottom because of like factors that were outside of your control or something that happened to you. It's something you did to yourself. So are all of your guests gonna be people who have also cheated on their wives and, I don't know, built themselves back up? I don't know who any of these people are, but that might just be me being uncultured. I mean, this one here doesn't even have the person being interviewed in the thumbnail. But I want to actually watch this one, addressing the backlash, because there was a lot of backlash towards the first podcast with Ariel. I even covered it on this channel, which, by the way, side note, that is like the most hate I've ever gotten on a YouTube video before. I've done political videos on this channel, and I think that one, the Try Guys one, was like the most divisive one. I did not realize just how much overlap I had with Try Guys fans, and for all those Try Guys fans who watched my video and got offended, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I wasn't criticizing the Try Guys necessarily. I was just, I don't know, I was lightly taking the piss out of them like I do for pretty much everyone on this channel. It's okay to laugh at things that you like that are comedic or humorous, right? Like, I remember I pointed out some of Keith's thumbnail faces. I thought they were funny, and people were like, you are making fun of the physical appearance of Keith for no reason. Like, what did he do to him? It's like, bro, I'm just saying that the faces he's making are funny. He's a perfectly fine looking man. All I said was that no one is this excited for Taco Bell. Like, no one, the Taco Bell is disgusting, is grim. No one is that excited. No one. But they even done one 11 days ago at Wingstop. And Sbarro? I've never even heard of that. Like, I guess it's an Italian place, but he doesn't look very happy about Sbarro, actually. That's interesting. It was quite a mediocre experience, it seems, from that thumbnail. Shit, I need to move on quickly before I get pelted by Try Guys fans again. To make it absolutely clear, I don't hate the Try Guys. I quite like them. I think the content is good. I think they do very good work. I just think it's funny to, I don't know, observe humorous parts about things that you like or have no problem with sometimes. So please don't feel as though I'm personally insulting you if you're a Try Guys fan. Anyway, addressing the backlash.
I've heard a lot of the commentary and reactions to my podcast episode with Ariel, and I wanted to take this video to... I
forget how awful he is at speaking. We're gonna up the speed. Because that first... Oh my God, bro, the podcast with Ariel was actually unbearable. Like, he did this, like, really fake and performative somber, but really slow and boring. Yeah, man, like... It's just horrible what happened, and I wish it never happens again to anyone, you know. What I did was Unforgivable. It's putting me to sleep just fucking reciting it. I've probably lost viewers reciting my impression of what he's done. Also, I'm gonna get toxic here for a second. Haha, I have more subs than you, Ned Fulmer. Ha ha ha. Big up the audience for giving me more subscribers than Ned Fulmer. Former Try Guy, man. Who would have thought it? Not me.
That episode with Ariel was mostly about her story, and now in this video, I'll tell a little bit more of mine. There's a lot that we wanted to keep private, but some things I'll touch on today. First, I know that it was a very painful and uncomfortable conversation to watch. I know for some of you, it reopened things. For us, it felt like a necessary step to be able to move forward. We knew we would always get these sort of questions in any context online, and it felt like the only way to move forward was just to face it head on. As has been reported in interviews, launching the podcast with a conversation with Ariel was Ariel's idea. She's a stakeholder in the Rock Bottom podcast and this new channel, and she wants it to be successful. So that was part of the reason why, in terms of having that conversation, we did it together rather than on any other platform. We knew it would draw a lot of attention, and I know that some of you have only seen 15-second clips of me putting my foot in my mouth, but I hope for those that watch the full hour that you took something away from it. You know, any clip that you see on TikTok is just one small snippet of an hour-long conversation of 3 years of trying to work through this.
So basically, you're blaming Ariel for the podcast being shit. Hey guys, if you're mad, I'm not the one to be mad at. It's actually her to be mad at. This was her idea. So yeah, we can tell it's her idea because she actually performed well and was interesting to listen to. People do not have a problem. The criticism is not going towards her. It's going towards you for being such a shite host. So this is the first episode of your new podcast where you are meant to be interviewing various types of people. And you displayed zero people skills, zero interesting characteristics or features, just nothing that a good interviewer should have. I cannot imagine how bare bones and surface level and fucking dull this podcast is if that was your big opener. And it could have been really, really actually insightful, by the way. Like, you have this massively successful influencer, or formerly successful influencer, on his big return to the internet, who got done for cheating on his wife, and supposedly, according to them, they've worked through that trauma, and now they're on good terms again. It didn't seem like they were on good terms based on the podcast, but if they spoke to each other like they were actually the friends that they claimed to be, and Ned was talking openly and honestly, and not like like some fake somber performative, oh, I regret this kind of child, then we could have got some like actual insight into why cheaters cheat, or what brought him to act in the way that he did. There could have been some redemption there, potentially. Because I've held this opinion before. Cheating is horrible, obviously, but it's not like this irredeemable thing where you're not allowed to have a friend ever again or a job ever again. In most cases, I don't think it even damages your internet career if you're like an influencer. Obviously, this was very different because it was with an employee. There's a huge power imbalance there. And the employee was also married, and that was really messy, and then it fucked up the other Try Guys as well. So this was a lot worse than your average cheating scandal. Don't get me wrong, I'm fully aware of that. But also, I've been distracted now because I've just realized that clay pot, it's a very nice pot, Dutch oven I think, has been out there every time he's in this kitchen. I get the feeling that he's performative, right? He doesn't actually cook using it. Unless he's making like a slow roasted, like a pot roast or something. But it's so slow, like the cooking is so slow that it needs to be on the heat really low for like months on end. I don't think that pot has been used since the last time he was in this setup, but I think that microwave has been used about 50 billion times.
After Discovery, I started an intensive program of therapy, group therapy, and work to really try to understand what I had done, why I had done it, and what it meant for my relationship and my life. This involved a lot of facing rationalizations, denials, minimizations, all of these mental clouds that help you continue behavior that you know is hurtful, and you still do it anyways. So it let me face the truth and acknowledge in no uncertain terms that I cheated on my wife with an employee of my business, and it caused her immense pain and shattered our marriage, and also caused a lot of pain to a lot of other people. Those were my selfish actions and my choices.
Damn, man. I had to do a year of therapy to come to the genius conclusion that cheating is bad. Fucking Aristotle over here. I think even in the Bible where they permit actual slavery, they knew that cheating was bad.
I sought to understand the patterns of behavior that led to this. I did work with internal family systems and parts work. started in the 12-step program and continued to understand why I had done what I did, what the underlying issues were, and what it was that I was running from when I chose to do that selfish and self-destructive behavior. In terms of my relationship with Ariel, it started as a therapeutic separation, and then from there I prepared a disclosure document that answered all of her questions and volunteered for a lie detector test to then, in a therapeutic setting, convey that information to her so that we could build something new on the same page of knowing exactly everything that happened. This is a well-known therapeutic technique for people trying to recover from betrayal trauma. And speaking of betrayal trauma, that is a phrase that I learned, the idea of betrayal trauma.
By the way, side note, I actually really do hope that him and Ariel are on good terms and that they're being very successful co-parents to their kids. Like, all jokes aside, I'm really glad to hear, and I do believe them. I do believe that they are on good terms. I'm not sure they're like besties or anything like that, but they don't need to be necessarily. So to give credit where credit's due, I think he is doing the right thing there. And as much as he is very guilty of being like a massive cringe lord online, I don't think currently he's like a huge piece of shit. Although there are some videos that we'll look at later that allege that he harasses minors and that he's like this huge scammer. So stay tuned for that, I guess.
And these ways that are, systems and language for understanding the pain and why keeping secrets like that, especially of a sexual nature, can be so damaging to your partnership. So those were things that I learned about and continue to practice on a daily basis when it comes to saying what I mean and doing what I say. And when I make a mistake, immediately correcting it to stay keep my sense of integrity intact.
By the way, I actually forget, that's another huge difference between this instance of cheating and most ones, is that this guy had a kid, and that makes it about 1 billion times worse. Remember, y'all, the only thing narcissists take from therapy is how to weaponize therapy speak for their own gain. I don't know, I feel like that is a little bit presumptuous of a comment. I think he definitely has narcissistic tendencies, but I'm not too comfortable diagnosing him an actual narcissist or someone with MPD. But, maybe it's true, who knows. If he's trying to do that, then he's not doing a very good job. Like, this video sucks. Also, why he's still talking about his wife. Even when he was in the Try Guys, his thing was like he was the wife guy. Even still, like years later, over half a decade later, and even when they've been divorced for all that time, his personality is still about this same girl who was his wife. Like he'll forever just be the wife guy.
I practice empathy and listening and boundaries with Ariel and others, which is sort of part of what was damaged about my brain. So from there, Ariel prepared an impact letter that described all of the pain that she felt, and I was able to hear that and take it in and sit with it to really understand all of the ways that my betrayal had affected her and what it meant through her point of view. So this was a long process that took approximately 2 years and continues work even to this day at the 3-year mark, even though we decided to separate officially 2 years in.
Okay, not half a decade ago, my bad. I overestimated how long it was before everyone in the comments corrects me.
It's something that I'm really proud of. That's really changed my life. And, I understand that if a viewer is watching this for the first time or just sees this 15-second clip on TikTok, you don't understand everything that has led us to this point.
You keep saying that. We didn't watch 15-second clip on TikTok. We watched the whole thing. So many people watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing. This is bollocks, man. The video sucked. Like, the video actually sucked. I think I'm done with this video, honestly. Oh, he just promotes his podcast a little bit. What's this replayed moment?
People are saying that it's similar to some of the stuff I did before with BuzzFeed and Try Guys. And that's true. It's the DNA of stuff that I love making. Mixing education with entertainment and developing new show concepts that I'm really excited, but it's not going to be too drastically different than the type of work I did before.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough, actually. Like, he's allowed to make content similar to the content that he was making before. It's not as though he's copying it by any means, because he was the one making it. Or, one of the people making it, I guess. How I Turned Into a Clown is his latest video. Ned, I hate to break it to you, but you turned into a clown about 5 years ago, and you've not stopped since. No. Oh, is he buying views? What the fuck? I've just seen this video here. Chefs roast my $1,000 cheese wheel pasta. It's got over 200,000 views, but 240 likes. That's fucked up, man. There's no way that's real. I've got this chart here as well from this little plugin I use, vidIQ. And you can see the view spikes is like, that is so incredibly suspicious. And then it's just remained stagnant since that huge spike. There's no way this is organic. There's no way. Is this all other, I'm so baffled right now. Is this all the videos? Or just that one? Okay, Can I Survive Fighter Jet G-Forces? This one has 1 million views and 885 likes. Fuck fuck off. There's no way. And again, it hit 1 million views within 6 days. And ever since then, 4 months later, it's not gone above 1.1 mil. I'm calling bollocks, man. There's no way. No way. That's a 1 million view video with 885 likes. Okay, let me see if I can. All right, here's a 900k view video from me. And it has 21,000 likes. No, let me unlike it. Fuck, that's so embarrassing. But fuck, man, it's nowhere near as embarrassing as Ned Fulmer's thing. Maybe it's on equal level, actually. But I have no room to talk. I've liked my own video from a year ago. Fuck's sake. The worst part is, I think that's the second time I've been caught doing that on camera.
Professional wrestling! Let's go! I'm here today with AEW learning how to be a...
Excellent production quality, professional scripting, camera work. So much better than the Try Guys. This is not a real... This has to be a bot or something. Like, this is horrible. This is not this is the attempt, man. If Ned got hurt, I would die. Please, Ned, stay safe for us girlies. What is happening here? But anyway, pro wrestling. I think there are some clips of him actually getting into the ring. Let's have a look at this performance, shall we?
His first time in an AEW ring, and you can tell by the look on his face, this kid is ready to go, I would think. A Russian leg sweep. Whoa! I think I'd want to keep that shirt on, but it was a Russian leg sweep and a tag is...
Was that it? That's your performance. What's his wrestling nickname? The Home Wrecker. Let's have a look at the audience view. This is where we can really get a good view of it. What is this, man? Nah, this music is shaking the piss, man. What is he doing? What the fuck? What the fuck? What a fool from... Look at the audience, man. This is like, what is this crowd? This video has more views than anything Ned has done since his return. Now, they say you can only go up from rock bottom, but I honestly don't know if that's true anymore, especially with today's technology. Anyway, apparently someone leaked his dating profile as well, and this was like a huge thing recently. So, okay, we're gonna have a look at his Twitter and him putting the pictures up. So his profile got leaked, and he thought, fuck it, my profile got leaked. I'm gonna leak it myself so everyone knows it and I'm not embarrassed by it's like it's cope, basically. Like, we all know that he's really embarrassed that the dating profile got leaked and he's trying to cope, which honestly, in a way, I kind of respect. There was a girl in my school who fell for one of those scams where you like you send your nudes over to someone that you think you're having a decent chat with, and then it's sextortion, right? And then they're like, if you don't give me money, I'm gonna send your nude to everyone on your following list. And they actually went through with it this time, except she just shared her nudes to everyone before the scammer could do it, so it meant nothing. Honestly, I just thought, like, you know what, fucking fair play to you. Like, although there's certain types of people who genuinely just don't give a fuck, and she was one of them. I don't think Ned is one of those people. What is this, man? Oh my God. I've just seen like part of the bio. Someone doxed my Field Co profile. Cool. It saves me $29.99 a month. I truly give zero fucks and invite you to roast it. Especially Bebe Rec, I don't know, whoever that is, I guess. I don't know how they're related. Are they the one who leaked it? What is Field Co? The dating app for open-minded individuals. Oh God, how kinky are you? That's the first notification that's popped up here. Oh, look at these lovely, wholesome bits of stock footage over here. I can pause it. That's interesting. Anyway, the app. Can I make... I want to know... Okay, join Field. Fuck. Okay, am I actually gonna... I want to know what I want to know what Field entails, to be honest. All right, let's have a look at this profile then. Edward. I thought it was... Isn't he Ned? Ned Fulmer. I guess is Edward... What? Is that like a code name? He went to Yale! What the fuck? Mate, that puts the wrestling video into a different that is a Yale graduate. Are you dumb? What? That's insane. That's pretty impressive, actually. I wonder if he was, I wonder if he was rushing or dragging. His name is Edward Gaio Ned Fulmer. Oh, okay, so the Ned is like a middle name, I guess? I don't know, maybe it is just a code name. Who gives a fuck, right? Edward. Dom-leaning switch looking for a bratty sub. Okay, I mean, I guess it's more of a, like a kinky relationship dating sort of thing. Like, it's a kinky dating app. But in my mind, I'm like, I don't mean to judge someone for their age, but you're almost 40 years old. Surely you should be looking for something a bit more long-term now. There's no way he didn't expect this to get leaked. Maybe he actually doesn't give a fuck, to be honest. Again, low-key, I respect him leaking this profile himself and exposing it to millions more people than would have seen it before. 5'10", okay, so he's probably like 5'8". ENFJ, whatever the fuck that means. Athletic and currently sporting a beard. Bro, I saw the wrestling video. To call yourself athletic that is a joke. That's a joke. I'm sorry, again, I don't mean to be a dick, but it's a joke. And to call what he has a beard is also a joke. There's no way he's 5'10". No way, if that's what he's describing himself as. In fact, I bet he's not even a fucking dom. He's lying. There we go, there's a picture here with his athletic build. Here's another one with his nice athletic build there. I mean, it's not like he's not a bad looking guy, but he's not particularly athletic looking. That's all I'm saying here. Look, he's in, like, decent nick. He's in decent nick, but athletic is the overstatement of the century. I guess this is what he means by athletic build. This is just called being really skinny. Definitely skips leg day as well. This is just a cringe one. Again, it's just a cringe one. Yeah, this dating profile sucks. But he starts rating it himself. Let's rate these photos. Cute smile. I like the dog. Bio could be better, but it's not that deep. But overall, 7 out of 10. It's not that deep is probably what... No, I can't say that. No, can I? It's not that deep is probably something that he's used to hearing from all the girls that he hooks up with, assuming that, you know, this bio actually works. Okay, so I suppose next we should cover, like, the cheating scandal part 2, essentially. This basically led to an entire accusation being thrown around that the Try Guys knew about Ned's cheating before it got announced to the public, I suppose. Which obviously would be quite damning. Now that it's been a couple of years, I think it's a good time to mention I witnessed Ned from the Try Guys cheating on his wife in real time in Nashville, Tennessee. They're recording this video very fucking close up, by the way, like, Jesus. This has 1.5 million likes. How many views does this have? Because it must be a lot. 11.5 million views. Jesus. Is this cheating, though? Obviously, knowing Ned's history, it's a little tough to believe that, but, like, that is the sort of thing you can imagine a guy doing with a very good friend who happens to be a girl.
So here's the story time behind the Ned Fulmer video I posted about the Nashville incident.
Oh my god, what the fuck is the length? Why is this a 5.5-minute video? Alright, well, 1.5 times speed to the rescue.
So here's the story time behind the Ned Fulmer video I posted about the Nashville incident from a couple years ago. First off, I want to say I had no idea that this video was gonna get as much traction as it did. I'm sitting in my car on my lunch break at work right now, and it has been such a crazy morning, waking up to thousands and...
This is not 1.5 times speed. What? The TikTok failed me. Also, is this Conan O'Brien's son?
Thousands and millions of comments and likes and questions on what happened and how I got this video and why I didn't post it sooner. So forgive me, I'm trying to keep up with everything as best I can, but yeah, I'll get into that right now and kind of explain the backstory behind that. First off, I want to address, I got a lot of comments saying, you know, why didn't you post this sooner? Why are you just now bringing this up? I have a lot of people coming at me saying I'm defending a cheater. I just want to go ahead and say that I do not condone cheating in any sense. I do not support Ned Fulmer. The only reason I waited to post this video is because honestly, it was a Snapchat memory from 4 years ago. It just popped up on my Snapchat. And I remember recently seeing some articles and some information coming out about that. So I was like, you know what? I forgot this happened. Let's post about this. And it blew up. So not condone his actions or support him in any way. I only started posting on TikTok about a year ago. So that's why I waited so long to post it. Basically, what happened is I went down to Nashville, Tennessee for spring break with a couple of my friends back in 2022. You know, we were doing the typical spring break, bar hopping, going to a couple different bars. We went to like Miranda Lambert's, Kid Rock's bar, all the big ones that everyone goes to, and we ended up at Jason Aldean's bar. When we got to Jason Aldean's bar, we get to the rooftop, and I've already had a couple drinks in me, so I'm already kind of like, I don't know if what I'm seeing with my own eyes is accurate, but I saw the Try Guys, so I'll link a picture right here to show you when we actually met with them. That was back when I was rocking the mullet. Eugene actually said I had a sick mullet, which, you know, that's the highest compliment, the highest praise I could ever receive.
Yeah, mate, when Mr. Krabs compliments your mullet, then man, oh man, you should be very... I shouldn't say that. I really shouldn't. The Try Guys fans will get at me again. I just think it's funny because Mr. Krabs' name is Eugene. That's all I can ever think of when people say the name Eugene or someone's called Eugene. But I actually like Eugene. I think he's really cool. And I also think it's funny that he plays like the straight man in the Try Guys dynamic when he is very much the least straight one there.
Go back to the dance floor and we're all dancing, having a good time, and I see Ned's out there with a girl. And I gotta give a little context to this too. I knew who the Try Guys were. I've watched a couple of their YouTube videos. I liked some of their series, but I wasn't like a diehard Try Guys fan. I didn't know about who they were married to or their spouses or anything like that. I might have saw his wife in a video one time. I didn't know what she looked like, and I didn't know if the girl he was dancing with was his wife. Like, I just didn't know. Like, I knew a little bit about the Try Guys, but I wasn't like a diehard fan that kept up with who they're married to and who they're dating and all that stuff. So just me being on the dance floor and knowing that I've watched a couple of these guys' videos, I took the video. I later later, only a couple months after I took that video, found out that Ned was going through this huge cheating scandal. Like I said, when I took the video, I was like, I don't know if this is this guy's wife. I didn't know, you know, the extent of the lore behind what's going on with them.
That must suck, by the way. Like, just someone recording you from that, like, literally, they were less than a meter away from him and just whipping his phone out and shoving it in his face. That must be so annoying. Like, imagine doing that to someone. I know Ned's a fucker in that, but, like, that's still weird behavior. Like, I would hate if someone done that to me. I have people take pictures of me from, like, a distance away. I was eating a sausage roll once, and someone took a picture of it, and I get back home a day later, and check my message request, and it's a picture of me eating a sausage roll, and it's like, is this you? I saw you in Glasgow at Greg's. I was too shy to say hello. It's like, okay, if you're too shy to say hello, that's totally fine. You can say hello to me, no problem. But if you don't want to, that's fine. But don't take a fucking picture of me mid-sausage roll bite. Like, at least wait for me to pose in a sexy way, because I do that all the time, really. In fact, I only ever look unflattering mid-sausage roll eating session. Every other point of view you get of me, fuck, man, I'm a dashing young man. So anyway, after that video came out, the Try Guys were in deep shit again, because now everyone's thinking, what the fuck? It's just been cracked wide open. The Try Guys knew about Ned's cheating. This is utterly insane. Like, this changes everything. Like, this Conan O'Brien offspring looking ass has just leaked the most dire piece of information possible. So Keith actually had to come out and give a response. I think this is the first time they have ever spoken about Ned directly since the controversy, by the way. So it really did have to be a big deal for this to happen.
Hey everybody, it's me, Keith. I try not to get involved in the semi-annual internet drama that a former colleague of ours tends to generate on the internet. However, there's a video circulating right now that I think I can give some good context to and help assuage some concerns people might have. So this video was taken in March or April of 2022. We were just wrapping our first episode of our Food Network TV show in Nashville. So when I moved to LA, my goal was to make a TV show, right? So we did that. We had just actually, after 2 years of pitching and ideating and getting the funds, etc., we were making a TV show. And we wrapped our first episode. We were in Nashville on a weekend. We're like, we gotta go celebrate. We did it. We freaking worked so hard for this. All of us were also friends at this time. This is 6 months before the thing went down that I guess changes how we all might look at a video like that. So I totally get it. But this is a video of Ned and our producer Rachel, who's been with us since 2018, dancing as friends.
Also, it wasn't even the girl that he was cheating on with. I can't remember her name for the life of me, but I know it wasn't Rachel. And what they're saying, a producer, is Rachel still producing for that? That's not relevant at all. It wasn't her. And Keith saying they were dancing as friends, that they were aware of this. It's not a big deal. Honestly, yeah, I believe him. Like, there's no reason not to believe him here.
Hugging and celebrating and being proud of ourselves for making a TV show. You can see me in the background of that video. Also, just having fun. I'm at a bar, celebrating. But a lot of people seem to think that we knew this was happening before it was. We didn't. It really sucked for us too. So anyway, that's the info. I also want to add that I think that photo that's taken of us, Rachel took it. Hey everybody.
Yeah, fair enough. Honestly, I feel that clears it up pretty succinctly. There really isn't too much to add to that, other than this was a huge part of the recent Ned stuff. Anyway, of course, you're getting comments from probably incels saying that's not how friends act, lol. I guess I can't attack them too much because they probably don't know what it's like to have friends. It was a normal thing for him to touch his employees like that. I mean, it's a mutual friend of all of theirs who just happens to be a girl. Really wasn't anything sexual going on. Like, if a mutual male friend of me and my girlfriend was dancing with her and she was doing that, I don't think it's not even a think thing. I wouldn't give a fuck. Because I know her and I know my best pals, so like, what's that to be worried about? Obviously, if it was a stranger, I think it would be different, but this was not a stranger to anyone involved.
Today I'm gonna learn how to become a clown.
Yeah.
There's a clownaissance happening here in theater.
See, this is the clown thing again. I don't understand why he's going to clown school. This is like if Alyssa Liu, the Olympic gold medalist ice skater, went to ice skating school. I thought that she knows pretty much everything there is to know about it. If anything, she should be the one teaching there, just like Ned. Ned is like, he walks in there and they go, sorry, no professionals. In fact, no, you can stay here, but only if you lead the class, because you're doing a lot better than I possibly ever could. In fact, your commitment to the bit is inspiring. inspiring, man. You've been doing it for 5 years now. Okay, now I feel like we should have a look at the scamming and harassing minors allegations. So these went relatively big recently from this YouTube channel called Sub-Ot-Watch or Sub-Bot-Watch. Okay, my bad. This channel looks at people who are likely sub-botting. Interesting. Okay. As you can see, they don't get that many views. They're a very small channel, only 1,000 subscribers, but these Ned Fulmer videos seem to have done very well for him. So maybe there's something to them. Let's give them a watch, shall we? Start with this one. Ned Fulmer is defrauding $1 million company.
This is Ned Fulmer, who after cheating on his wife was released from the Try Guys channel, which is how he made most of his income. After being on hiatus for 3 years, he recently came back, and has got into controversy once again. Now with allegations of him buying views. I have conclusive evidence that he's doing this and making money by this from defrauding a big company. This is the story of how Ned Fulmer is defrauding $1 million company and the internet.
Company would like to stay anonymous. Please respect their decision. Okay, fair enough. Context at 33, ViewBotting proof at 110, fraud allegations at 417. Mate, this is laid out like a CSI case. I love it. I'm ready for this, man. Let's get into it.
Our story starts 3 years ago, when on September 2022, it was revealed that Ned cheated on his wife, Ariel Fulmer, with the producer of the Try Guys YouTube channel, which was his primary source of income before he was removed. He then went on a 3-year hiatus of the internet. Since then, he's gone on a podcast with his divorced wife and made videos himself. But these videos are completely illegitimate and are lying to the world how well they're doing. This was originally brought up by August the Duck recently, and I intend to prove it. While on this journey, I found some crazy things he's doing to make a profit off of this, and I'll get to that very soon. Let's look at these 3 videos, which all average between 150 and 1,000 likes, which would make sense if these videos had 4,000 to 25,000 views, but they have hundreds of thousands of views. This video with 350,000 views only has 180 likes.
Yeah, by the way, for the record, guys, I know you probably won't believe me, but I did not know about any of this view-botting shit before I started recording. I, honest to God, a hand on my heart, clicked on one of his videos and immediately come to that conclusion because it was just that obvious. You can choose whether or not to believe me there. Yes, okay, he likes his own videos as well. I'm not the only one! Get in!
2,000 views has this amount. It's kind of insane. And this outlier is only amplified in his other videos. His most recent video, which has 800,000 views, only has 400 likes. And this one with 1 million only has around 900. The only video I can find of him on one of his channels, which has over 12,000 likes, is one where people actively dislike him and isn't botted because of one of his other many controversies. Okay, let's compare these videos to the only non-botted video on his channel that I know of, which I believe has now since been deleted. This video has 83 likes and around 8,000 views. And as you can see, it's almost exponential, the views, and the likes really don't go up too much. And it's not even like hundreds of thousands of people are coming in with dislikes, because most of the controversial videos are made after these videos get the majority of their views. As you can see here, the views from the August the Duck video were made after all the views were botted.
Yeah, we can pretty confidently say that he's botting his views. And for the record, for people who think he's not, just because I know he's disliked, but he's not so disliked that the view discrepancy and like discrepancy would be that fucking large. There's no scenario where it would be that big of a gap. Ever.
Next claim is that he's botting on his own videos to gain relevance through commenting on a different account. There's something very curious about this YouTube account, who was made 16 years ago, and posts these really weird comments defending Ned Fulmer's actions. So I just assumed this was a bot, because this is a similar thing some people with controversies do who bought their channels. But here's the curious thing. This channel was made just 5 days after Ned's channel, which would make sense if Ned only made his channel a few months ago, but he made his channel 16 years ago. Now this is so unlikely, especially because this account only comments on this channel and has over 100+ comments over the last 3 months, all within his new volley of high-edited videos that try to cover up his past controversies.
How do we know it's only commented on Ned's channel? Is there a way to verify that? I'm not sure there is.
Completely possible Ned was glazing himself before he cheated on his wife, as he deleted all of his videos after he was removed from Try Guys' channel. This is especially weird because Ned has admitted to cheating on his wife, and by this comment saying he done nothing wrong, he either doesn't understand that this is wrong, or thinks he's completely innocent. I don't know what's going on in his mind. He's trying so desperately to save a reputation that's already completely gone. Ned, you've fallen out of relevance. I beg of you, I will make this video unlisted if you delete your channel and take full responsibility for your actions. I will make this very clear. This video is not for my profit. It is entirely to dissuade you and people who think of doing this, as it'll be harder for all YouTubers to get sponsorships if companies are suspicious that somebody may be botting their views.
Yeah, I don't know if that one is too true. Because there's a chance that it's just some crazy fan. There's a lot of those. I've had crazy fans of other channels like that one interact with me before, and it's very annoying. I've got crazy haters of mine that reacted just like him, but sort of the opposite, like very negatively towards this channel, for example. Like, channels like this just do exist. People like this exist, as weird as it is to say. And it could just be a coincidence when it was made. Like, it could be.
Why is it so bad that somebody sub-bots? Sure, it makes YouTubers who spend a lot of time growing their channel look like their accomplishments are less impressive, but in Ned Fulmer's case, it's way worse. I'm accusing him of wire fraud and defrauding a large company through his sponsorships. So why does he do this? Well, it's probably because his main source of income was completely removed after he cheated on his wife with the producer of his show. Now, this means he probably can't get money from his dying YouTube channel.
Fuck! Oh, he's right, you know. Because when you take sponsors, there's sometimes view guarantees, so you will only get paid if you reach X amount of views. But if he's view-botting, that fucks it up royally. That's not okay. That's illegal. Especially because I'm sure the contract he signed with said company specified that you are not allowed to do that.
So he starts by making a few high-quality videos that seem like they could get some views. Then he bots about 1 million views for each of them. So when he looks for sponsorships, it doesn't seem especially suspicious. Most companies only look at basic stats and probably wouldn't understand that 400 likes isn't incredibly irregular. So he gets his sponsorship. Then he bots that video to make it seem like the sponsored company is getting a good—
Can I just say, this is like the worst censoring ever. You have the fucking company, like you didn't even censor it properly. It's right there. Like I'm not gonna, I shouldn't criticize, he's a small YouTuber, it's whatever I guess, but like what the fuck is this censoring?
for their buck, and they should continue sponsoring Ned's content. And it's not like Ned's just taking a few dollars per video. He's probably making thousands of dollars for every sponsored segment, while they're maybe making one affiliate link in return. But there are ways to bot this as well, but it's kind of hard to talk about that legally, so we'll leave that for another time. Now, it's pretty obvious that this sponsorship is absolutely awful for the company, as they only have 2 likes on this comment, which is insanely low and incredibly irregular for my channel, let alone a channel with over 300—
Bro, I'm sorry, you need to do a better job at censoring these things. You need to do a better job, because this is horrific. I need to see if this is like a small mum and pop's company, because if it is, I'll feel bad. Point, like, bringing attention to it. Yeah, it's a bit, it doesn't fucking matter if this is leaked, who gives a fuck?
I mean, seriously, if these allegations turn out to be true, he's literally committing the definition of fraud. He's intentionally deceiving this company, and because it's financially motivated and committed online, it is technically wire fraud. Ned, mate, I don't think you understand the gravity of what you're doing. You are defrauding somebody for financial gain and tricking them into sending you money through fake promises. You hit all of the boxes of wire fraud, which is a federal offense, and because you live in the United States, I'm assuming in California, that brings in prison time and a huge fine if they choose to sue, and probably even if they don't. So that's why I contacted this company. I feel like it's kind of my duty having this information to contact the people who are getting scammed. Again, I didn't say it was completely conclusive. Technically, it may not be, but from what the company said, they have looked into it, and that's likely what he's doing. So he may lose a bunch of future sponsorships, and because of this, he may give up on the Ned Fulmer channel and stop botting for good. This company asks not to be involved directly with a controversy, and the only reason I'm showing any part of screenshots of conversing with them is for proof that they're very active in this situation.
You know what's interesting as well? As much as this channel is a smaller one, so you might think like, oh, this is going to do nothing. I think it really has impacted Ned Fulmer's channel. I'll show you now. When you look at his latest video here, it was a whole, like, over a month ago, so it's been a while since he's uploaded, and it only has 18k views, which in my mind means that he's actually not view-botted it, so he must have just come to the realization, like, fuck, now that this is out there, I can't view-bot anymore, because, like, it's known that I do it. So this video here from Subbot Watch actually has more views than Ned Fulmer's latest video about the clown show. Yeah, and the likes here, with the views here, they actually look authentic. Like, this looks legit. This is like the only one that isn't a scam. I mean, if we compare that to the video directly before it, before Subbot Watch made his video, we get, once again, very, very clear evidence of view botting. 1.6k views, yeah, no chance. Not a fucking chance. Or an 822k video? No way. Oh, it was probably, actually, you know what? I say that like it was Subbot Watch, as much as I want to give him credit, it was probably August the Duck that got him to stop. But still, Subbot Watch, you've done a good thing here. Just need to work on your censoring. Anyway, Ned Fulmer is harassing minors. I want to have a look at this one now. Oh, I think Ned Fulmer responded to Subbot Watch, what, publicly? No way. Let's you know what? Let's just actually watch the video.
In my last video, I alleged that Ned was defrauding a multi-million-dollar company through ViewBotting a sponsorship, as well as proving he was defending himself on an alt account by the name of @DJuniorD1. My video was seen by over 21,000 people, including Ned, who had one of the most childish responses that I've ever seen, including sending thousands of bots to harass and give me death threats.
Oh my god. I will fucking kill you if you don't stop bothering Ned. You're harassing an innocent person. Stop being toxic and leave Ned alone. Joined 30 minutes ago, 1 comment. Yeah, this is definitely a bot, this comment here. Maybe not a bot, maybe Ned on an alt account, or someone who knows him on an alt account that they just made to comment on this fucking video.
This is the story of Ned Fulmer's fall from glory as a star student at Yale to how he's threatening and harassing minors. Just a little disclaimer, there are some heavy topics in the video. Keep that in mind when you watch it. Enjoy. To understand how Ned has gotten to this point, we need to discuss some background context. The first mistake Ned made was back in 2022, when he cheated on his wife with the employee of the YouTube channel he was on, called The Try Guys. He was removed shortly thereafter and went on a 3-year hiatus from the internet. A few months ago, he came back, and in my last videos, I proved 3 allegations which I put forward. The first was that he was botting his views and subscribers. The second was that he was defending himself on an alt account to seem more favorable with his audience, and the third was that he was defrauding a multi-million-dollar company through sponsorships. I still stand by all of these claims, as there's no reason not to believe it, as there hasn't been any disproving evidence.
But there isn't really any hard evidence for the bot comment there, because I still don't know if that account is him, like, on an alt one defending himself, or a bot. If he's sending bots to actually harass you, then, I mean, that does add evidence, I guess, because we know that he loves a bot. He loves a comment bot. He hasn't even used those for any of his actual videos, though. He just does, like, view bots. He doesn't do any likes, doesn't do any comments. Maybe it's just too much money, I guess. But fuck, man, it really is pathetic. When he says that he doesn't care about people who roast him, this is how I know it's a lie, because you care so much that you are blowing all this money on fake views that don't actually make you anything. Like, this guy is losing money making these big production videos. It's purely an ego thing for him. Ned did nothing wrong. Stop harassing and leave Ned alone. That was from We Can Go Band for Band, with a lovely profile picture there.
For the third allegation, I explained that using fake, inflated numbers tricked Ned's sponsors into sponsoring videos that got absolutely zero audience and made no money for the company. This is fraud, as he's actively tricking these companies. These companies paid him thousands of dollars for these sponsorships and got negligible returns. The video ended with me contacting the company, who said they would take active action into fixing and resolving the situation.
The guy's a scammer. Like, the more I'm actually sitting here deeping it, he is an actual full-blown scammer now. Like, he's scamming these companies. He's botting his views so that he can inflate the numbers, not for ad revenue, because you don't get ad revenue from fake views. He's doing it for sponsorship, so he can go to them and say, look how many views I'm getting, you should pay me X amount, and then he fucking scams them. He's probably not doing view guarantees. He's probably doing flat fees. Like, look, I have this many views, my last 10 videos got this many views all combined, so you are guaranteed to get a 500,000 view video, so I deserve, I don't know, $15,000, which honestly is probably a lot more for a 500,000 view guarantee, but whatever, right? Who knows? And then the video goes out, the sponsor is on there, he gets his flat fee payment, but the sponsor does not get anywhere near the engagement they thought they would because all the views are fake. Now, I'll be real, yeah, they should have done all the sponsors are idiots. They should have done a way better job actually checking the authenticity of their views. But, regardless, the guy's a fucking crook. He's a crook.
Ned commented on the aforementioned account over 75 times, repeating the comment, "You're harassing an innocent person. Stop being toxic and leave Ned alone." A lot of my viewers were believing the theory that this was a bot, but I'll show some screenshots that completely disprove this a little later on. I thought this was the end of it, but unfortunately for him, he was not finished harassing my audience, as he would soon harass me. At around 3 p.m. of January 27th, 2026, Ned Fulmer botted over 1,500 comments across 3 separate videos of mine. These included his classic "you're harassing innocent person" catchphrase, to even threats against my life on my video about Ned Fulmer and 2 other videos that had absolutely nothing to do with him. For someone who graduated with a chemistry degree in Yale, how could you be so dumb to post on the internet where you have global influence threats to kill a child over a YouTube video? But the death threats were incredibly concerning. For those who don't know, I'm a minor who is protected by Section 102, Subsection A, Protection 4.
But I don't know if it is Ned there, though. So these comments that you're harassing an innocent person, these are bots. Okay, these are definitely bots here. But I just don't know if we can link it directly to Ned himself. But it's pretty much impossible to prove that. Like, this DJRD1 seems to be such a weird fucking creepy fan of Ned's that it's honestly possible that they are creating all these accounts, or they are the ones responsible for the bots. But then obviously he's alleging that DJRD1 is Ned himself. I don't know. I think I am being a bit too charitable just because I don't want to throw the accusation out there definitively. However, I do completely understand why he thinks it is Ned, and I wouldn't think any less of someone for believing that Ned is responsible for this. I'm not even saying that it's unlikely Ned is responsible for this all, but I am saying that I can't say for sure, and I hope you can respect that.
To even threats against my life on my video about Ned Fulmer and 2 other videos that had absolutely nothing to do with him. For someone, I'm a minor who is protected by Section 102, Subsection A, Protection 4 of the 119th Congress Child Protection Safety Act. I'm in Canada, so this doesn't fully apply to me. but breaching it would apply to Ned as he lives in the United States, specifically California. Now, Ned breached this by writing the custom comment when setting up the bots, meaning he has full knowledge of the act he is doing, which is not just unethical, but directly illegal, and could face serious repercussions, not just from YouTube, but from the law.
So, for the record, I do think that is absolutely true, if we can somehow prove that Ned is the one making those comments, which, for the record, I actually think is unprovable. Like, I don't think it is possible to link those comments back to the buyer or the person who bought them. Like, I don't think we will ever truly know who done it. But I wouldn't put it past him, because he is a crook and a cheater. Like, I started this video thinking, oh, he's maybe not a piece of shit anymore, he's just guilty of being really cringe and funny to laugh at and make fun of. But now, at the end of the video, I've come back towards, nah, he's definitely still a very questionable and dubious morally person. As in, like, dubious in terms of his morals, if that makes sense.
Hundreds of dollars hiring a third party to make the bots for him, or he made them all manually himself. There's evidence for both, making them, in my opinion, equally likely, but both of which are incredibly incriminating, or he spent a lot of money for no reason. Considering how much he stalks my profile, I'm pretty sure beyond reasonable doubt that Ned is aware of my age, as it isn't especially private. Before I explain what he did next, I want to travel a few days ahead, to when he unintentionally admits that this account is owned by him.
You're scared of me, troll, stop harassing and leave him alone. So I guess this is proof that it's Ned, you're scared of me. Oh, to be fair, I haven't let him talk. I don't know if that's the evidence he's giving, but if it is, that doesn't prove anything. Also, I don't mean to be mean, but you don't need to watch the rest of this guy's channel to know his age. Like, it's pretty obvious from the way that he's making these videos and talking that he's a minor. And that's not to slight him at all, by the way. I actually really respect when young people do what they love online, you know, in a way that is productive, obviously. Like, this is the shit that I was doing at 17 years old. I actually love this shit. So honestly, big up if you're watching this video.
Years ago, and I wasn't originally going to include anything about this, as he didn't actually admit that D Junior D1 was owned by him. But here's the thing. In this screenshot, Ned uses the first person singular subject personal pronoun to refer to him, which makes it clear that Ned is referring to himself.
It doesn't, though. It doesn't make it clear that he's referring to himself as in him. It makes it clear that this commenter is referring to himself, but there's no evidence that himself is Ned. Again, I totally understand why he thinks this, but it isn't enough evidence to say it definitively.
Before moving to the third person like the rest of the comments. Now that it's clear that this account is actually owned by him,
it's not. It isn't clear. It really isn't. Like, him switching to the third person from the first makes it obvious, in fact, that he is not talking about Ned insofar as the first person. You're scared of me, leave him alone, clearly implies that me and him are two different people. This isn't the gotcha that you think it is, unfortunately. And again, this isn't me shitting on them by any means. Like, I do get it, absolutely. It's just, it would be irresponsible for me to blindly agree with this person and say, oh, yep, case closed. You know what I mean?
To around 5 p.m. of January 27th. Because of the excessive engagement botting on my channel, YouTube took down my most recent video. You know how I said earlier how the video on Ned is my most recent video? Well, that's actually not true. My actual most recent video is permanently removed from YouTube and has nothing to do with Ned. I was considering fully dropping the idea of making a part 2 until this happened, as this isn't just some dumb comments, this is actively harassing me and trying to disrupt my YouTube channel. It was clear this was intentional, as just a few hours later, he did this again on the video I made of him, making it clear that he wanted to take my video down. This is incredibly bad for him, because I have made money off of it, and it's classified as a business because of this. This means he's sabotaging my business with malicious intent, which is also completely illegal. This whole situation is kind of hilarious. And I understand that this is pushing it a little bit, but in my opinion, this still takes things way too far. As you can see here, he just deleted all of the comments on my channel to avoid a self-imposed controversy, further confirming that he is entirely aware of what he did and how he is completely in the wrong here. Unfortunately for him, I'm not an idiot, and I've taken tons of screenshots and screen recordings ensuring I have more than enough proof to show Ned as the minor harassing scumbag he is, especially if law enforcement gets involved, as there are a variety of things he's doing that could get him arrested or sued. This includes all of the botted comments, indicating he didn't use a third-party service and instead did this all himself, further showing that he actively put death threats on my channel.
There's no way he did it himself manually. Like, that is actually, there's no chance. Because you look at the dates of these comments 5 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 3, like, there's no way he was that quick to fucking make all these accounts, then switch them all and put them like 100, like 50 comments out in 1 minute. There's no way he did it manually. Not a chance. If he did do it, which there's no way of proving, it was definitely with a bot or a service. But again, like, it's just not possible to prove. Regardless of who's doing it though, like, this is a really shitty thing that's happening. Like, the severity of how fucking horrid what is happening here is to this kid doesn't really change based on who the one who's doing it is.
I would really appreciate it if some of you screen record this video, as it is entirely possible Ned pulls some not so funny business and takes this video and my channel down. There's way more that I could talk about, and if you want to see some less important things, comment something that indicates it, and I could post it on a second channel. I strongly encourage all of you posting a video about this or a video similar to this to expand its reach, pressure the company to take active action against Ned, and make sure he gets exactly what's coming for him.
That's pretty much it, I think, in terms of the Ned Fulmer allegations. It was a good point to end it on there, because I feel like now that we have a more accurate depiction of his character from the whole scamming thing and ViewBotting thing, it makes it a lot more possible for me to believe that he does have some involvement in those comments. So as much as I'm not like saying it's impossible, I'm still also not going to say that he definitely did it. And again, I hope you can respect that, but if you disagree, then be sure to let me know why. For now though, I think that's the end of the video, so hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!